I guess the experiences was like just going through different emotions with different people or getting into arguments and trying to snap back from like holding a grudge because it is real. Was a challenge. Like, oh, that person pissed me off. And normally I would just cut them loose and won't talk to them ever again, but I have to face them every day for the next 2 weeks.
This is so exciting. I feel like I'm getting to talk to you at like the beginning of what's sure to be like an amazing journey.
Yes. It's so
So
much
how do you
fun.
feel? I'm sure you shot this last summer, of course. How do you feel now that like, it's finally coming out and fans are gonna get to see it?
I feel like it's such a euphoric feeling, it's like it's shocking. It's a lot of emotions at once. And I'm still in disbelief. It's like, oh my God, I really shot this. And like it's out there and everyone can see. And you have people reaching out. And like I have friends and family I haven't heard from in years reaching out. I'm like, oh, like I saw you on TV. And I'm just like, I don't know how to handle it. Some of it is like it's bittersweet, but it's fun. And I'm glad we get to see what we created now in the light. But it's a great feeling. Very great.
Yes, absolutely. And listen, I'm a huge Bravo fan, obviously, and I'm a Summer House fan, but I'm also a Black viewer, and I feel like it's just so exciting. I'm sure you saw online, like people going up for this show the second the trailer dropped. So
Yes.
exciting. So were you a fan of Summer House before or Bravo in general?
So yeah, I was a big Bravo fan. I love Real Housewives, like Real Housewives of Beverly Hills in Atlanta. And then I became a Summer House fan. And then I was just like, wow, like this is fun because I also used to live in Hamptons for like 2 years. So, and I lived in a share house and I also lived with an ex. So I got to have the best of both worlds. And it's kind of the same where you have your friends come out every weekend and then they go back to the city and work, and then we come back on the train back to the Hamptons. So the fact that they made a show out of it was great. And watching that, I was like, oh my God, I would love to do this one day because it seems like fun and this is my life. To be able to be a part of the Martha's Vineyard version, it'd have our own little twist to it because it's like a, summer house mixed with like a housewives vibe.
Mhm.
Um, it's great. Like it was great. It's so much fun and 10 times better, I think.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. And I also think too, there's of course such a rich history, a rich Black history in Martha's Vineyard that
Yeah.
I think is going to be so exciting for audiences to see and for us to kind of get a peek into that world. Talk to me a little bit too. I know you said that you would live in the Hamptons for a while. How often would you go to Martha's Vineyard before? And talk to me a little bit about your connections with the cast as well and how it
Of
was.
course. So it's my first time going to Martha's Vineyard when you see me come out in the series. I'm friends with Jasmine, Jordan, and Shanice, and we all were Playboy bunnies at the Playboy Club. We were friends since 2017, 2018, and the idea was pitched actually to Jasmine and Jordan. And then from there, Shanice was a little bit closer to them than I was at the time, and they pitched it to her, and then it's kind of like a telephone game, and then she pitched it to me. And I was like, of course, because Shanice and I are best friends. We go everywhere, we travel everywhere together. And when she pitched it to me, I was just kind of like, all right, this is another checklist off the bucket list. Let's do it. I mean, we've done everything else. So, me coming to the island, I didn't know much about the Black history of it. Living in the Hamptons, I would have a lot of people come up to me and be like, you know what, you should go to Martha's Vineyard. Have you been? But I didn't know why they would tell me that. They never explain. I'm like, oh, is it a vineyard? Like, what is it? Because I worked for Wolf State Winery for a little bit. And I would always get that when I worked at the winery, like, you should go to Martha's Vineyard. And I'm like, well, is it a vineyard? And they're like, no. So, when I learned the history, the Black history and how rich the culture is on the island, I was shocked and I was like, wow. But, when I was living in the Hamptons, I did live in the African American community there. We had our own beach. So it was kind of like a smaller version of Martha's Vineyard. Because when you go to Martha's Vineyard, it's like Black excellence everywhere in Oak Bluffs and the restaurants and the beaches. So, that's how I kind of got connected in and invited in. So,
Yes. Oh, I love that. That's so exciting. And talk to me a little bit too, just about the experience filming. Like, I'm sure there was maybe like a learning curve a bit, or how it was, like, yes, you vacationed before, you've had a share house, but like this time, I'm sure there's a crew there,
yeah.
and there are cameras around. How long did it kind of take you to adjust to that?
Um, I guess for me, it took by the third day, I got adjusted to it. And the thing that was the hardest for me that people need to realize is that it's unscripted. So it's all natural. Like you don't get glammed up in the morning and like, okay, like, you know, let's go out. Like they're all up in your face when you wake up and you got the crust in your eyes, or if you want to have a like a freaking quickie with your boyfriend, you know, it's all your business is out there. Or if you're sad and you feel depressed because you have a hangover, everything is your business is on the table. So I guess the experiences was like just going through different emotions with different people or getting into arguments and trying to snap back from like holding a grudge because it is real. Was a challenge. Like, oh, that person pissed me off. And normally I would just cut them loose and won't talk to them ever again, but I have to face them every day for the next 2 weeks. So it's like that was the hardest challenge for me, was just trying to bounce back from being angry or sad or you know, getting into an altercation with somebody, because it is all real and it's not scripted.
Yeah. No, I think it's interesting that you say that. I feel like a lot of reality stars say it's such a misconception. I think people can watch from their sofas and be like, oh, you know, they're on TV and whatever, but it's like
Yeah.
real life. They're not telling you what to say or anything. Like
They
you literally
don't. Like
get
all
through
like the shade that you see is the shade. Like when I leave and go home, yeah, I still have some problems with certain people in the cast or like, you know, the friends or whatever. So it is what it is. So you know, you kind of have to just kind of sit back and be an adult about it. You know, I'm 27, we're all adults and we just have to handle it accordingly. But with normal shows, you know, most of reality shows are scripted and, you know, they get told what to do. But for us, no, it's the hardest part was just kind of, man, I don't want to be fake, even though I hate this person, but I gotta be respectful, you know, so it was hard.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are you, I know we have plenty of drama to look forward to, which of course I'm excited, fans are
Yeah.
excited. But what is like a happy moment or like a fun event or a fun day that you're excited for audiences to get to see that you look back on last summer that stands out?
Okay, without giving anything away, a happy moment. I'm trying to think. I think when we had our girls' night, there's parts of it in a trailer. It was a very happy moment because we were all together and it felt like as if we were back working at the Playboy Club together again. So we had that big connection. And you see a part of it in the trailer, but I don't want to get too much into it, but we reconnect and have that great bonding to that sisterhood when we go out for the girls' outing. So yeah.
Yeah. I love that. And then kind of for my last question too, and you just segued to that perfectly. I just think it's so nice with these shows when there's a shared history already, right? When you have real friends, real
Course.
stuff. So how was it going in? Did it feel like you kind of had an anchor with those girls, especially because you guys had that history since you said since 2017?
Yeah, so it was very comfortable. Like obviously there was the guys that I didn't really know that well, and Mariah was the only girl that I didn't know well, which was Jasmine's friend. But knowing everyone else, it was comfortable. I didn't feel out of place. And like I am a Gemini, I'm a social butterfly, so I don't have a problem
Yeah.
with, you know, interacting with people and fitting in. So I
Mhm.
wasn't scared about that, but I was glad to be going in with people that I had a long history with since 2017, 2018 until now. And another tough part is that like when we all met each other, we were young, we were single, you know, so meeting each other now and, you know, filming this series at the age of 27 and Jasmine being married, it was a challenge as well, you know, adjusting to that.
Absolutely. Well, listen, this will be a perfect. I'm a 27-year-old Gemini
Me
too, so
too? Oh, what's your birthday?
June 4th.
I'm June 12th.
So this will be a perfect birthday gift for you with this coming out.
Exactly. It
Yeah,
is. I love Geminis. It is. So
you're the best. We are the best. I know we get
we
a bad
are
thing.
the best.
People like to like say that we're the worst, but everyone has a Gemini friend that they love. So
Yes. And
yeah,
we're
it's
cool
fun.
and we're the hottest. Like, you know, like Naomi Campbell,
Yes.
Zoe Saldana, Kanye West. Like, you know, Gemini.
No, we really are, absolutely. It was so nice to meet you though. I'm sure I'll see you soon, Dr. Run.
Of
I'm excited
course.
to cover it. And again, just congratulations. I think this is gonna be like an exciting journey you guys are embarking on, and we're really excited to support it.
Thank you so much, Jared. I appreciate that.